I wish you all welcome to this workshop, which is organized by Human Behavior in Design, which is a special interest group. And this special interest group is chaired by Kristin Paetzold and me, Yvonne Eriksson. And I will just give a brief introduction to this special interest group. The special interest group, Human Behavior in Design, has been formed in order to share information and experience in research and application related to behavioral aspects of designing. The Human Behavior SIG is starting to investigate new research methods and approaches, and the main objective is to strengthen and increase joint research activities within the international community. And this Human Behavior in Design research, special interest group has planned to meet regularly online. So we will offer an online seminar every second month, and we will start not December 11, but December 4. And every second year, a 2-day conference will be held, and we will see what's happened in June, if it will be online or if it will be partly in real life, so to say. And we also plan a workshop at the design conference. This conference we have had the workshop before, and we plan for ISED as well. Next slide, Kristin, please. The topics for the workshops that we will have, or the seminars during the following 3, is the challenges in validation of methods, methods for co-creation between academia and non-academia, and criteria to use prototype as a communication tools. They are the 3 main topics. Next, please. And the first one will take place, challenges in validation of methods, will take place in the 4th of December, and it will be 1 to 3 Central European time. And the motivation for this seminar or workshop is that the result of research and development are methods. In terms of scientific rigor, methods must be validated as research results. And also existing approaches to validations are not only abstract, but rather have more strategic goals. And the questions we would like to discuss the 4th of December is what is required for method validation, which aspect of the method's description and application needs to be validated, and which methodological approaches are available for these purposes. It's hard for a Swede to say all this. Okay, next, please. And the second seminar will take place the 5th of February, and it is about methods for co-creation between academia and non-academia. And the motivation for this seminar is that co-creation is crucial for a rigorous result in research project that involves academia and non-academia. And researching co-creation meets several challenges that we would like to address. And the research questions that we suggest for that seminar are: what is required for method co-creation? Which aspect of the methods will co-creation benefit from? And how to evaluate the impact of the result from an academic and non-academic perspective. And then the third, it will take place the 2nd of April, and it will be about criteria to use prototypes as a communication tools. And this is motivated by the prototypes are seen as thoroughly proven means to discuss products, ideas, and solutions between users and developers. However, since users and developers have different backgrounds, they are not always interpreted in the same way, which is prerequisite for mutual understanding. So the questions we want to address for that seminar is: which factors influence the interpretation of prototypes, and how do you identify and interpret disturbing factors in the communication process? Okay, and today's workshop, Kristin, please. Today is the workshop for today is the relation between analog toolbox and digital tools. And we have planned this because every kind of prototyping supports the communication process between user and designer. Prototypes not only will be used to verify functionalities or properties, but also to validate the functionality from user's perspective. And prototypes become more and more important as means of communication. And they help to transfer information between developers and users. And the 3 questions we have addressed for today are: what term do you use for the specific types of prototyping or prototyping you use, and why? Mention the main challenges by using prototypes in co-creation processes where several stakeholders are involved, and how to frame users' need in the co-creation process. As you can see, this is a kind of a base for the upcoming seminars that we suggest. And we will start with 3 short presentations, and the presenters have to present themselves. I think this is most fair. And then we will have a workshop that will be divided into 3 parts, and that will be led by Professor Åsa Wikberg Nilsson from Luleå Technical University. So please, the first presenter will be one of the chair. It will be Kristin Paetzold. So please, the screen is yours. I don't know varför ni den här.
Moment, I have to open the presentation.
And I have problem with the video, it disappeared.
Yes,
Okay.
You can try just refresh page. You can press F5 button.
F5. The letter F and 5.
F5. So it's on the top of your keyboard.
Okay, should I start?
Yes.
Good. Why do we deal with prototypes? And the question for us, the main question is, how can we mention the main challenges by using prototypes in co-creation processes? And because in this co-creation process, normally we have several stakeholders which are involved, and so we have several experiences and several knowledge in this process to discuss product ideas or to validate or evaluate products. So the principal idea is the human being has 2 rules in the design process. One rule which is nearby us is the rule as designer, and as a designer we learn at school, we learn at university how to design a technical system. Based on a system's objective, we explain the system behavior. The system behavior we break down into functionality, and for this functionality we found principal solutions. And so we have a stepwise process where we detail the product. The second rule we can take in this design process is the rule as a user. And the user mustn't be an engineer, that can be someone completely else. So the user normally gets this product as an isolated object. And now he starts to interpret this product or this technical system based on his experiences, based on his knowledge and his abilities, but also based on facts how to tackle daily situations he has and which daily situations he wants to support with a technical system. So, and he doesn't, normally the user doesn't see the goal of the technical system or the objective of a technical system. He has to build up an understanding of this technical system in his specific context, and his specific context means here he has competences and experiences, and he has a specific life situation. He has to tackle specific daily situations where he wants to be supported by the technical system. So in the context, in the consequences, we have areas which we have to consider when we try to try to support the understanding between the designer and the user. So we have product models, but these product models may be not in the perception, they will be not the same like the engineer will see in these product models. The second thing is the life situation of the user is very important and doesn't fit to the specific conditions in the design. And the third aspect is on a pragmatic aspect, the usability for the user mustn't be the same like the user capabilities, which will be the basic for the definition of the systems object. And therefore we are in a kind of a mutual ignorance between the designer and the user. And the idea now is prototypes may support this communication process to discuss product ideas or to evaluate product solutions. Yeah. So in the classical process, the prototype will be created by the designer and design with the background of the designer, and the designer explains the user with this prototype the goals and the objectives of the technical system. But the user will interpret this, and this interpretation process depends on a lot of filters, filters which may come from his experiences, his knowledge, his life situations he has to tackle. And so there is, we often see a kind of misunderstanding between the designer and the user, because the designer is creating the model, the model of the technical system, and so he knows what he wants to explain with them. But sometimes the user is still not able to interpret. For example, he's not able to read a technical drawing, or he's not really able to understand 3D CAD model or a prototype or something like this. The second thing may be that the user defines the prototype, and this is the normal situation when we define or when we discuss requirements with the user, that the user explains what he wants to have, the user explains his situation, and in the best case, he explains his situation. Normally, he explains where he has some gaps, where he needs some more functionality, or where he needs some technical support to tackle a specific situation. And in building these prototypes from the user's point of view, normally he has not the same wording, he has not the same understanding as the designer. The designer tries to understand, tries to interpret, he tries to identify the principal functions, he tries to identify the expected systems behavior, but there are some gaps also in understanding. So, and the third situation where we want to go to is the situation in the co-creation, where designer and user together think about the prototype, yeah, or think about the idea and explain the basics of an idea, of a product idea, of a product solution together. Nevertheless, also in this process, we have to consider there are specific knowledge and experiences from both parts, the designer and the user. This leads to a kind of filter. We have to find out what are these filters, what these filters means for this translation process of a prototype. Yeah, and how can we use, or how can we integrate these aspects of misunderstanding between user and designer in this prototyping process? And this is one of the aspects which leads us to have these questions in this workshop. Yeah, that was my short introduction. I think I can give to the second one. Seid ihr noch da?
I don't manage with the video, but please, Ulrika and Alvaro, can you present and start by presenting yourself?
Yes. Yes. the sound on? Yes. Okay. Can you hear us well?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please, everyone, turn off the microphone. Everyone else, except the one who is speaking. Thank you.
Can you share the screen? I think we cannot share the screen.
At the bottom of the screen, you have 4 icons. The third icon is the monitor. So when you press that icon, it will allow you to share the screen. And please, when you share your screen, when it opens that tab, share your screen, then at the corner you will have share audio option. So please just check that box.
Yeah, for us now it says that Kristin is sharing the screen, so we cannot share it.
So Christine has to unshare first.
Yeah, please.
Please help her unshare, because now she's blocked.
I unshared. Hopefully now
okay,
it's fixed.
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah.
Great. Then we try again. It doesn't. Why doesn't it work?
Is it possible to move to Zoom space instead, to Zoom room instead? Because this is very complicated.
Excuse me, can you repeat?
I ask if it's possible for us to invite to Zoom link instead.
I'm not sure. I'm
We'll
just, yeah.
We can come back and try if.
Okay, I can suggest just to refresh the page. So at the top of the page, you have a refresh button, like reload this page, or you can just press the F5 button.
But I can't see. I'm looking for this F5 button, but where do I find it?
It's on the top of your keyboard. So on the top of your keyboard, you should have buttons like F1, F2, F3.
No, I have a Mac.
Okay, so you can just press left mouse button on the top of the page. You have like this arrow, circular arrow. It says reload this page.
No.
Okay, we can see the presentation.
Other people.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we can hear now, but
And see the presentation, but we can't see you at the same time. But doesn't matter, maybe.
Can you hear us? Yes or no?
yes.
Okay. But then, and you can also see the presentation.
Not right now. It was here like a few seconds ago, and it disappeared.
Maybe you don't. So like this.
No?
Can you see it now?
No.
What is this type of?
Har du den öppen och ta bort, alltså minimera fönstret. Ja. Eller inte minimera, men min escape. Prova igen. Oh shit, what's happening? What is this? You see what's happening?
Okay, you share the screen right now. It's okay. You just go on the PowerPoint tab.
Yeah.
So you see now?
Yes, right now we can see your internet tab, but you can open your PowerPoint and everything will be fine.
It is open.
Okay, then you shared the wrong screen. So when you opened the share screen option, it was like 2 options: to share left and right screen. Okay.
Multiple screens in like.
Yeah, when you press the screen button, share screen, then it asks you which screen would you like to share, and then you just pick the right screen.
Can I just say something? It's Yvonne here. Because I saw that some other workshops, they announced that they should go to a Zoom link instead. So maybe we should try to do it in Zoom instead, because this is very annoying.
Okay, please.
Kristin, do you have the possibility to invite us all to Zoom link, and if you can share the link in the chat?
Då ska vi in till chatten så vi ser den. Annars så kan vi inte se den. You see all this?
I shared the link on the chat. Muss ich den noch öffnen, ne? Ah, ja, stimmt. Now we can see the presentation. Now it works. Jetzt sind sie alle raus. Ja.
So what should we do? Should we go to the Zoom room instead?
Men om du trycker på den presentations... Nej, där.
Can you please? Yeah, now it's fine.
Now it's fine.
Yeah. Just open the full screen.
Jetzt bin ich hier raus. Ach so, deswegen.
Can you still see it?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't see you, but anyhow, we try to do the presentation. So we can see us or you. Maybe we see.
No,
it's a black window, but yeah. Anyhow, so we start. I'm Ulrika Florin, and I'm a senior lecturer in information design, and I work within the research group Information Design at Mälardalen University. And
yeah, my name is Alvaro, and I'm a PhD student, and also I work in the same group as Ulrika in Mälardalen University, and I also work in RISE, Research Institute of Sweden.
Okay.
Are you in the meeting?
Can you hear us now?
Can hear you.
It's like a rundgång, what do you call it? It's like strange sounds coming in, but anyhow, okay.
So I can explain a little bit about the Karakuri IoT project. And if using the image, this is an example of a design support with inbuilt technology. And we designed a card deck and business origami set. I don't know if you can see this in the image. Maybe it's very small now. But the idea with this kit is that it represents different Internet of Things technologies and ways to notify people, and also different logistic aspects. The intention is to facilitate participants in the ideation and problem-solving activities with Internet of Things technologies. And the goal is to engage operators and shop floor personnel to come up with bottom-up.
Excuse me, Alvaro.
Yvonne, we can hear you.
I think we are in Zoom and also in the other place at the center.
Are you still here in Hopin?
So now, do we move to Zoom, or what is the?
Please, can you just, Alvaro? Can you just? Yeah, now we can see your presentation.
Yeah, but I'm not doing anything. Sometimes it disappears, and sometimes it appears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yvonne, are you at Zoom? This is Kenny House. and it's you know, surround sound.
We have echo all the time.
Ulrika.
Ja.
Kristin var bäst på
Ta bort henne där. Ta bort.
Ja,
Ja.
But then do we continue with the presentation here in Hopin?
Yeah, I believe you can just continue, please.
Okay. So hopefully you see the image. And as I was saying, it's like the goal is to engage operators and shop floor personnel to come up with bottom-up improvements in industrial settings. And the kit is in the context of workshops where participants use these cards and also like this origami kit to discuss, frame the problem, and present also like solutions with Internet of Things technology. You can see, for example, like the end result of one of these workshops is an image on the left that you can see like is in a diagrammatic way the representation of Internet of Things technologies with problem solution. And then once they have like this solution, then you can see in the picture on the right that you can substitute the sensor cards or the business origami kit with the real sensors, and then you can prototype and test the solution with sensors with inbuilt technology, and you can use an iPad or a telephone to create a diagram to also like trigger the sensors, so then you have all the things to test in the environment how it would work. And regarding the challenges, there are three main challenges that we see when we support this type, we create this type of prototype, and also we facilitate this type of activities in workshop. One of them is like inbuilt technology makes it difficult to find the right level of scaffolding related to technology, because not everyone has the same background and technology knowledge. Also, in some contexts, it is difficult to make the participants express themselves in other modalities, for example, with simple drawings or storyboarding. And the last one that we see that is also a challenge is that sometimes it's difficult to find and identify participants that are interested in prototyping with technology, because this kind of prototyping requires some thinking through technology, like computational thinking and logic. So this is one example, and now Ulrika will present another example.
Yes, and now we're in for a very analog one, but I will answer the question. The first question was about what term we use for specific types of prototype or prototyping and why. And as an overarching term, we use design dialogues. Design dialogues is a method and strategy that has developed by practitioners and research in the field of architecture, art, and design throughout the years. The method is strongly rooted in material culture. And the material culture is to acknowledge practical skills. And these skills are related to exploring, inventing, making, and doing in designerly ways, to talk across. This course places design dialogue in the broader design thinking field via Cross's notion, designerly ways of knowing, thinking, and acting. However, also related to Dewey's suggestion from 1929 that contributed to the advocacy for new relationships between science, art, and practice, and that knowledge is achieved through a kind of art directed towards change. And that's important, because when you do this type of workshop as presented here, is to understand a system as it's working right now, but exploring for us to together make it better and to suggest changes. And as you see here, it's very analog. It's very, simple cardboard tokens with people in different groups. Can you see those? Oh, I can't get any answers, so I hope you see them. Anyhow, it's a combination of roles, and it's a sort of analog prototyping in group, and you have spatial relations in a small scale, but you also have aspects of gamification. So the contributions in the workshop is gained by the participants. So, well, about the outcome, and that relates to your topic in the coming workshops as well, about validation. The outcome in terms of empirical material are diagrammatic visualizations of systems that can be analyzed together with a recorded sound. We always record sound with a telephone, so we have the participants' dialogues as well. That's why we call this specific design dialogue kit MOVE, short for multimodal origami, since it gets a multimodal thing in terms of empirical material to analyze. Okay, yeah. But the main challenge here is to gain enough insights of the context and those who work, live there, what they are used to, and how they express themselves, as well as how they interpret visual and tangible elements. If you have a low insight of the context, it's difficult to understand its specific systemic layers. And these two examples that you are looking at right now, it's the one to, what is it, left,
yeah,
to the left. I don't know how they see it, but it must be, yeah. To the left is a workshop at Union Electric, and that's a global company, steel company. And this is how they interpret their system of different communication boards, which you use within lean organization or lean inspired organization. The same goes for the other one, but that's another totally other context, because this is the municipality and how they are serving elderly people and people that need help from society. But they are using the same lean inspired system to organize their flow of work, I would say. So, to the last slide, just to talk about a larger system as well. This is from a workshop at Nobel Prize Teachers Summit last autumn. And here is the challenge to get people from the globe that is flown into Stockholm to discuss about environmental challenges, to really embody the real scenario of climate change. So, to the last question, how to frame users' need in co-creation processes. Here we don't have answers. We just came up with more questions. So we thought about how to balance the designer's interest with the users' and stakeholders' interest.
Also, who decides what are the user needs?
Exactly. And what is the role of the designer in a co-creation process? Is it to facilitate so that users can collaboratively make decisions about their needs?
And also, what do designers expect from users in co-creation processes?
And finally, who is the designer? Thank you.
And also, in case you are interested in the projects that we have presented, we have 2 publications here in this conference, so you can attend the presentations or read the papers.
Exactly. And if you want to know more about these first two aspects of workshops that we were talking about and user involving, you visit them and you can see the link to the papers. Thank you.
This was the end, I hope.
Can't hear you, Yvonne.
Okay, thank you for the presentation.
Did you hear anything? We didn't see you while we were presenting. It was like mute in a way and stiff, but I hope you got the message. Did you see anything about these tokens and so on? No. There is a lot to discuss around them, and I really hope that we can do that live sometimes and try to play these together, because it's also a learning by doing situation.
Can you hear me now? Yes, good. Thank you. No, I think sometimes I couldn't see the presentation. I don't know if some of you could see the presentation. No, but we could hear you, so it was clear. Thank you. I think this systems needs to be improved a little bit during this conference, hopefully. So the next presenter is Marek from Dresden. Are you there?
Yeah.
It's from Christian's group. Is there anyone there from Christian's group? No? Okay. So then I think we have to move on and start the actual workshop then and see how it will work. Are you ready for that, Åsa?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So
Yes,
what do you say? Should we move to Zoom instead? Because this is...
okay, I can see the Marek is here, so
Yeah,
I am
Marek
here.
is here, so yes, you can, please.
No problem,
Start
sorry.
the presentation.
Sorry for the delay. It was a little bit chaotic. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen.
yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So I'll just start to talk about our prototypes we created in the last, I think, 1.5 years for autonomous agriculture systems. And if my working, yeah. As with every new product, such as a complex system of autonomous agricultural machines, we are meeting with the novelty aspect and the problems with acceptance of the users. And I think this theme is connected in all of the new products developed and designed, and therefore we need to focus and try to communicate our ideas better through prototypes. And we need to address the 3 questions which are main for the prototypes. It's like scope, audience, and purpose of the prototype. And we can also discuss what quality does a prototype need and what time do we have to invest to communicate these aspects into our design process. So we can build a lot of different prototypes, principal, ergonomic, and styling, or functional and technical prototypes. We just have to take a look from what side of the development process we are taking a look at. And therefore, all the prototypes have to meet some fidelity dimensions. So we have to see how close to reality they can be. And I will just discuss a few of them because we don't have so much time, I think. First one is appearance. For designers, also like pretty relevant to see how well we are communicating the final product of the and how refined should the prototype be from the visual standpoint. Or we can talk about interactivity, how interactive elements are captured to the user, what we are showing to the user, what's relevant, what has to be only simulated, what has to be real, or if some part of the demonstrator should be interactive, even though it's not simulating the right interaction with the machine. And last but not least, how well the environment of the actual user case is simulated. And for that, it's a pretty good idea to move to the digital world, because not in every situation we can use a real environment for our demonstrators. For our project, we created, I think, in total 7 demonstrators. We were trying to cover. Can you see the screen? Because I've just read that they can't. Yeah, you have to cover the both worlds, so virtual interaction, virtual environment, and physical environment and physical interaction, because we are creating a cyber-physical system which is working on also on a digital level and also on a physical level, and therefore we need to cover all of those aspects and move kind of in the middle with the final product. As a first demonstrator in the physical world, we used Lego. It gave us a pretty cool platform to build on. It was also easy to understand for every project member, because we try to communicate our concept ideas with our industrial partners, also research partners with the different backgrounds. And therefore we only focused on the spatial structure and interactivity, so we could move our 3D printed part on the machine and place it in other places and discuss all those changes with our project partners. So it was a pretty small target group, but it was pretty quickly developed, and we invested only like 1 day into developing such a prototype and 3D printing part for that session. After that, we moved on to our second prototype, which was 1:15 scale. It was after all the industrial or design of the machine really done, and the structure of the machine was established, and we could show our modular parts and also the kinematics and how it will work in the future. So we moved forward to appearance level higher, but we also increased the functionality of the model and interactivity of the model, and we could show that our design is modular and user can use different working tools with the machine. And as the next one, we created a 1:6 demonstrator, which was also connected with a tablet, and we could control our prototype with the tablet. I don't know if the video is playing, I think not. And we could create the prototype which was interactive enough, and we could communicate the intelligence of the machine with the lighting on the machine, and also we have like motorized part on the machine. We used it for agriculture expo last year. I think here's a picture, yeah. And therefore we could discuss our concept and ideas with the potential market users and customers, and to communicate our idea about modular system of the swarm units, which are communicate together and they're connected with the HMI solution. We also use the virtual reality to evaluate the ergonomical aspect, because we are only building one machine and it's currently in the process, but we had to prove the interaction aspects such as reachability of the components, emergency buttons, viewing angles for the cameras and lighting system. And therefore we used for our prototype process, before we move to final phase of CAD production, virtual reality to prove those ideas. Last but not least, we also moved to virtual world, and we used the platform of the farming simulator, which gave us a great opportunity to test the interactions and to deepen the field of environment, because we used the simulation already there, and we used the players to interact with our concept and get a better understanding how it will work in the real world, without building a real world and without implementing a different solution. I'm sorry that the video is not playing because I wanted to show you the interaction, but maybe later on I can share it in some other form. Then we moved on to our HMI concept, and we created the user case with the interaction interface and the first concept of how will the user actually interact with the autonomous machines from the tractor cabin or from the off-field. And here we focus on different aspects than before, and it's mostly about interaction, performance, and a little bit more about data, which will be used in the future. And last but not least, we also connected those two prototypes, and we used the simulation and farming simulator and our interaction concept together, so we could control a few aspects with our HMI solution on the expo. And as I said before, those two prototypes were connected together and presented together with the 1-to-6 demonstrator, and this way we could cover most of the interaction aspects or most of the concept ideas in a two separate demonstrator and communicate the whole concept idea. Yeah, I think I'm through because I was informed that I should be quick.
Thank you very much. And I think we have got 3 different perspectives on prototypes and prototyping, and also the relation between analog and digital tools. But even if there is some differences, I can also see that we are dealing with a little bit of the same issues here and questions. I don't know, it has been many many interruptions because of the technology. It doesn't work. So my suggestion, as I wrote in the chat, that we should move to Zoom, which we handle a little bit better, I think. Is it possible for you, Kristin, to invite us with the Zoom link?
We can use the link I sent before, if necessary.
Yes, and then maybe we should take, let's say, okay, now it disappeared, the link. Can you send it again, please? For me, at least, it disappeared.
Moment. The link geschickt.
So maybe we should take 10 minutes break and reorganize ourselves after this.
Ja. Was jetzt? Genau, das ist der, ne? Yeah. So the Zoom link
Okay, so
is available.
Have you typed it in the chat?
yeah, please. So just type so the rest of the people know what we did. So
Yeah. So is it this Simon Niklas? Is it the ones? Is it that?
Yeah, that's that's my PhD student here. Sent the
Yeah.
link.
The link. Okay. So then we close this and move to the Zoom, and we meet again 2 o'clock sharp.
Okay.
And everyone with of them. I type here.
Nee.
Yeah. Okay, Simon is already. Okay, so you just click at the link and then we leave this.
Yeah.
Good. See you then.
See you.